there were methods for technical rating and methods for patient satisfaction measurement. Because each standard had measurable criteria, which were then summed up to calculate an average for the standard. And they had numerical ratings. 1 meant little achievement, 2 means fair achievement, 3 good achievement, and 4 excellent. And similarly, patient interview tools were also developed, and rather than asking them very technical details, the questions were framed in such a way that they were more easily understandable by the patients, and they were also translated in Urdu. And the system which was used was actually using these smileys and given a numerical value. 1 with 2 sad faces meant the patient is not satisfied. 2 meant somewhat satisfied. 3 meant 2 meant somewhat dissatisfied. 3 meant somewhat satisfied, and 4 meant very satisfied. Right? And a thorough assessment was made. And now I'll be presenting in you in terms of the technical measurement and also side by side the patient perspective about the same services. So this is the rating against the technical standards, and the average score for all BHUs assessed was 1.8. Let me remind you again that 4 was the maximum rating and 1 was the very little rating. So you can see where the system stands. I don't have to point it out. But you see here that none of the standards rated excellent, only 5 standards rated good, while the rest of them standards rated either fair or little. I have got the presentation of the series as well, so if you want to go into the details of the data, you can see the series, because Dr. Lakshanda keeps on, giving me the signals as well that please go into the details. But you see here that the lowest rated standards were the one, I'm talking about the technical standards right now, which were related to somehow service management rather than the service provision. For example, availability of written procedures, staff management, service information referral system, and the highest rated standards were the one which were related to, for example, vaccine cold chain. These were more of the service provision rather than service management standards. Availability of essential drugs, medication information, attitude of the staff, and the patient's registers and all this. But when we come to the same standards and ask the patients about their satisfaction, we see maybe we rated, when we were doing the technical rating, maybe we rated too low, or the patient maybe they rate the facilities or the services too high. So the overall rating of the patients was 2.8. While remember our rating or technical rating was 1.8, so straight a difference of 1 big point or 25%. They were none of the single standard they rated as not satisfied, but they were not either very happy with the rest of the standards as well. So all of the standards lie somewhere between dissatisfied to somewhat satisfied. But an important thing to be mentioned here, that they were not concerned about service management, they were more concerned about service provision and the aspects directly related to the provider and to the physical aspects of the services delivered. For example, they rated the sitting arrangement in the waiting area very low, affordability of the services very low, sufficient toilets, because you see in the public facilities, the patient toilets are a big issue. They were more concerned about health education material not available and medication information given to them not in a good way. And the aspects which were rated very high were the ones which were directly related to the patient interaction and the provider interaction with the patients. For example, the respectful behavior of the staff, staff availability, though we rated it very low in terms of the technical standards because very few facilities had all the staff available in those facilities. But for a patient, whether it was a medical technician or was it an LHP or a doctor, they all rated it equivalent and said that any person when they reach a hospital or a facility, for them is equivalent to a provider. So they rated the staff availability as very high. They were very happy that the treatment was given to them, though they were not concerned what sort of a treatment is given to them, but then in the end they wanted to have some medicine in their hand when they go back home. So they wanted to have urgent attention and they were very happy when the staff was listening to them or the staff was attentive to them. So you see, this DACA bar is representing the patient, it's representing the technical perspective, and this bigger bar or the lighter bar is representing the patient perspective. And you see, you can have an overview from this slide that majority of the standards were always rated very high by the patients as compared to the technical aspects, except for the few. For example, this one, maybe it's not very clear from here because of the light, but for example, the standards which were rated equivalent was availability of health education material, toilet availability and all that. But for the rest of the standards, the patient always rated it high. I think in terms of the technical aspect, we always consider the consultation time to be appropriate. But when we asked the patients, they were more concerned about the waiting time being shorter rather than the consultation time being longer. So when we measured the consultation time, it was only 2.5 minutes per patient, which was very short when compared to the standards available or the international standards. And though the waiting time was only 20 minutes, but they thought it was a very big or a very large waiting time. So, and let me again emphasize that patient rating was always higher. When we come to the secondary care, the technical standards rated 1.3 or 23%, and majority of them lie in this zone, fair zone. I'm not going to the details of the slides because they're on the CD as well. I have to finish my talk. But when we assess the patient satisfaction, this is about for the outpatient questionnaire. The average score of the patient was 2.6, again higher than the technical rating. And it somehow lied between this somewhat dissatisfied and somewhat satisfied. With again a difference in the questions rated low by the technical standards and questions which were rated low by the patients. So you can go into the details because I don't think I will be having time to spread all these graphs, but they're all out on the CD. But somehow you can see here that the secondary care standards rated low as compared to the primary care standards, maybe because of the more complex nature of the services which are delivered there. And secondly, we noted that the patients which were attending or going to the secondary care hospitals were a bit more educated as compared to the patients which were going to the PHU. It might be a coincidence or it might be a finding which can hold significance later on. So there was a difference in the characteristics of the patient attending secondary care as compared to the primary care. So these are all details. Let me summarize the findings. If somebody is interested, I can later on also during the lunch break discuss the detailed findings and share the data as well. But what we noted during our study, that it's very important that efficacy of the medical services is improved, and it definitely can be improved by having improved patient satisfaction. But our study identified a gap that patient satisfaction is highly individualistic and it's dynamic, and it varies from patient to patient, from region to region, from age to age, and from geographical area to geographical area. Right? It also identified the gap in, let's say, the patient satisfaction as an element representative of the quality of healthcare and quality of healthcare from a technical aspect or technical perspective. It also highlighted the dilemma that although optimally care should be able to balance both the patient perspective and the technical perspective, but in reality, the care that met the medical needs was failing to meet the client's emotional or the social need, and conversely, care that met the psychosocial need was leaving the clients unsatisfied, was leaving the clients more medically aggressive, right? So it seems very important that in developing countries, because we have a lot of patient satisfaction surveys and studies from developed countries, but in developing countries, when we promote client-oriented services, we should carry out more in-depth analysis and research on determinants of patient satisfaction and then apply to our local circumstances and situations, rather than having some tailor-made solution coming from abroad and developed countries. So a better understanding of the determinants of patient satisfaction would help the policy and decision makers to design policies and the strategies which will be tailored to patient needs as perceived by both the patients and the service providers. And also let me highlight one aspect here, that client satisfaction only reflects a part of the quality of the entire healthcare process. This aspect should neither be misunderstood nor overestimated. All that, when I was going through the data in detail and I was getting the in-depth analysis, different questions came to my mind. And I started asking myself this question, what actually are the determinants which affect a patient's satisfaction? What is the difference between the patient satisfaction from a patient's perspective and the real quality from a technical aspect? How they can be matched and interlinked? And finally to a question, what actually is quality of care? And I think it varies from culture to culture, from place to place, from region to region. Thank you so much.